Welcome in, everyone. Today we're diving into Unleashed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another book about demons and vampires. But trust me, this one's different.
Different.
Yeah, it's told from the perspective of the demon, supposedly. The author, M.A.M., claims to be a demon named Morbose, stuck in a human form.
It's like Interview with a Vampire, but with a demonic twist. And the language. M.A.M. uses these really archaic terms, like he's trying to sound like he's from another time and place.
It's almost over the top, right?
Totally. You almost think it's a joke, but then there's this underlying intensity, this need to convince you that it's all real.
Okay, so let's back up a bit. The story starts on a farm in Mattawamkeag, Maine. You know, typical small-town America, or so you think.
Right, and that's where Morbose claims to have orchestrated his own birth. He goes into detail about this family, the Marbellos.
And he doesn't hold back. I mean, he calls them out for all sorts of, let's just say, questionable behavior.
Incest, adultery, the whole 9 yards. He paints this picture of them as deeply flawed, almost deserving of what's about to happen to them.
You mean deserving of being possessed by a demon?
Exactly. But then again, isn't that always how these stories go? The demon finds a way in because of our own human weaknesses.
So we're supposed to feel sorry for them.
I don't know if it's about sympathy. It's more about how this book plays on our fears, right? Those deep-seated anxieties we have about what goes on behind closed doors. Those fears about the darkness that might be lurking right under the surface of everyday life.
And it gets even more complex when Morbose reveals more about his past, his relationship with Satan.
Oh yeah, this is where things get really juicy. Apparently he wasn't just any demon.
Right, he was Satan's, what does he call it, his vampiric demon paramour?
Vampiric demon paramour. I mean, come on, that's not your everyday job title, is it? And that's what's so brilliant about this book. It takes these familiar figures like Satan and vampires and throws in these curveballs that keep you guessing.
Okay, so not your typical demonic love story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's a reason M.A.M. uses that specific phrase. It suggests a level of intimacy, even romance, that you wouldn't expect in a traditional depiction of hell.
So is he trying to humanize Satan? Or demonize love? I don't know.
It's more about challenging our expectations, I think. And just when you think you're starting to understand the rules of this world, he throws in another twist. Morbose claims to have stolen something from Satan. And not just anything, but the Devil's Bible, which supposedly holds the power of death.
Talk about a power move, right? Stealing from the devil himself.
It's a huge act of defiance. And it raises the stakes for Morbose. He's not just a demon anymore, he's a fugitive. He's on the run, trying to stay one step ahead of Satan's wrath.
And that's just the beginning, right? I mean, the story gets even wilder from here. So wait, he steals this incredibly powerful book and then decides to, write a tell-all memoir about it?
Well, it's not quite a straightforward narrative. He keeps jumping around in time, from his life as a demon to his experiences on Earth as M.A.M., I guess you should call it.
Right, because it's not like he can exactly separate those identities, can he? He is Morbose, even if he's walking around in a human suit.
Exactly. And that's where things get really creepy. He starts talking directly to the reader like he knows we're out here listening to his story.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that too. It's like he's trying to warn us about something.
It's almost like he wants to scare us, like he's saying, hey, this could happen to you too. Demons are real, and they're closer than you think.
And he gives us all those specific examples of things to watch out for, like chills down the spine or feeling a cold spot in a room. Things that, let's be honest, a lot of people have probably experienced at some point.
Right, but now, thanks to M.A.M. or Morbose, those everyday occurrences take on a whole new meaning. They become potential signs of demonic presence.
It's like he's planting these seeds of doubt, making us question everything we thought we knew about the world. Like, what if that weird feeling I had the other day wasn't just a draft? What if it was, something else?
And that's the brilliance of this book. It taps into our primal fears, those deep-seated anxieties about the unknown and unseen. M.A.M. understands that true horror isn't about monsters jumping out from behind doors. It's about that creeping sense of dread, that feeling that something is deeply wrong, even if you can't quite put your finger on it.
And he does that by blurring the lines between reality and well, the demonic.
Absolutely. And the way he talks about his own experiences, his transformation from demon to human, it's like he's trying to normalize the abnormal, to make us see the demonic as something that's not so far removed from our own existence.
He keeps saying that demons aren't all that different from us. They want the same things we want: power, pleasure, a way to escape their own personal hells.
Right, and that's what makes them so dangerous, according to him, because they understand our weaknesses, our desires, and they know how to exploit them.
And this whole thing about him being a silent killer, it's like he's trying to make our skin crawl.
It's interesting how he keeps coming back to that image, the silent killer. It's almost like he's equating it to a vampire, which of course plays into the whole vampiric demon paramour thing.
So is he saying all demons are vampires, or all vampires are demons?
It's never explicitly stated, but he definitely implies a connection. He talks about vampires being derived from demons, like there's some kind of demonic offspring.
So it's like vampires are the evolved form, at least according to MAM.
He makes it sound like becoming a vampire is a kind of demonic upgrade, like they've figured out how to tap into the best parts of being human, the pleasure, the power, without all the messy emotional baggage.
But he also makes it clear that it comes at a price, right?
Or absolutely, there's always a price. And in this case, the price is your humanity, your soul. Morbose talks about how even though he enjoys the sensations of being human, the taste of food, the feel of sunlight on his skin, there's a part of him that's always aware of the emptiness inside, the void where his soul used to be.
So even though he got what he wanted, escaped from hell, stole the devil's book, he's still not happy.
I think that's what makes his story so compelling, so tragic, in a way. He's achieved a level of power and freedom that most demons can only dream of, and yet he's still trapped, still searching for something he can't quite grasp.
And he tries to warn us about that, doesn't he? About the dangers of wanting too much, of seeking power, without understanding the true cost.
He does, and yet there's a part of me that wonders if he's not secretly reveling in it, in the knowledge that he's tempted us with his story, that he's planted these seeds of doubt and fear in our minds.
You think he wants us to follow in his footsteps?
I don't know if it's that simple. I think he wants us to question everything, to see the world in shades of gray rather than black and white, to acknowledge the darkness that exists within us all, the potential for both good and evil.
He definitely doesn't make it easy to categorize him, does he? Hero or villain? Truth-teller or manipulator? I'm still not sure what to believe.
And that's the beauty of Unleashed and of MAM himself. He's a master of ambiguity, of leaving us with more questions than answers. He forces us to confront our own beliefs about good and evil, about the nature of reality itself.
So what's the takeaway here? Should we be out there looking for demons in every shadow? Or should we just chalk it up to one man's very active imagination?
I think the real question is, does it even matter? Whether Unleashed is a true account of demonic possession or a work of brilliant fiction, it still has the power to unsettle us, to make us question the world around us. And that in itself is a kind of magic, isn't it? The power is a story to stay with us long after we've finished reading it, to haunt our waking thoughts and maybe even our dreams.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'll be sleeping with the lights on tonight.
Probably a good idea.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mysteries of Unleashed. Is MAM a demon in disguise or just a very talented storyteller? We'll let you be the judge. Until next time, keep your salt handy and don't trust anything you read, especially if it claims to be written in blood.